the program output indicators. We have a typology of output indicators that we define at program level. And this is based on an analysis that we did of the Southeast Europe program and of the outputs produced by the projects approved in the Southeast Europe program. We have defined types of output indicators at program level, which the project can link their own outputs to these 5. The first one is documented learning interaction, and it's mandatory for all the projects that are approved under Danube Transnational Program. So all the projects have to contribute to this output indicator. The documented learning interaction is a process of acquiring, enhancing institutional knowledge in a transnational cooperation context through joint work aimed at a practical solution, transfer of knowledge, capacity building, exchange of experience, peer reviews, or any other type of learning process. It is expected that each project develops and implements at least 3 joint learning interactions. The practical hints are that the learning interaction has to be developed in a transnational context and at transnational level. The activities related to durability should be explained, and the newly gained skills during this learning interaction should be already used for the benefit of the project. An example of learning interaction is a workshop for stakeholder in a certain field. This is a learning interaction that can take place. Another example of learning interaction is that if in the context of the project you are piloting a certain concept and then you have a workshop with the partners that you are exchanging the experience in this direction, then the workshop is the learning interaction. It is not actually, it's less complicated than it sounds in practice. Besides this mandatory output indicator, we have defined 3 types of specific output indicators. The first one is strategies and action plans, and everyone knows what is a strategy. The strategies developed in the context of in a transnational program should aim at policy integration in the Danube area. The action plan breaks down the strategy goals and objectives into specific actions. Each developed strategy and action plan, whether it is implemented or not, should be counted only once. If an action plan is developed for different environments, then it should be counted for every environment that it is developed. For example of strategies are strategies for sustainable tourism, strategies for leisure and culture, strategies for multimodal transport, regional development strategies for improvement of energy distribution. Example of action plans, for example, you can develop a strategy in the project for sustainable tourism and an action plan for 4 cities. Each action plan is adapted to the cities, and these are counted as 4. Practical hints in this respect. You should plan in the project also the implementation phase of the strategy and action plan. You should describe clearly the involvement of the target groups in the activities and the deliverables. It is usually that, of course, the strategies aim at policy integration. So the target groups is the policy level. Policy level is difficult to reach. Therefore, if it is involved already from the development phase, it might be easier that they ensure the uptake of the strategies into the policy level and into the daily work. You should you should plan the sustainability-related activities and the transferability activities in case the strategies are not referring to the national level, are referring to regional level. We are always trying to ensure that these are transferred to other regions and do not remain only in the geographical area covered by the project. Another type of output that we have defined at program level are tools. So we are counting the number of tools. A tool is a mean for achieving a specific task. It should be jointly developed by the partnership at transnational level, and a tool developed by a project can be tangible, physical or an object, or could be intangible, a concept, a service, a guideline, a manual, etc. As examples are databases, IT platforms, management concepts that are developed by the project, and here policy recommendations, which can be found in several projects, actually are tools and are not strategies. You have some hints in the application form. You have to clearly describe the main features of the tool, because as you have seen, you have for each work package you can define outputs and you have to describe them. So the main features have to be described and avoid the generic descriptions that are not telling us what is actually the tool that you are planning to develop. You have to plan or test the applicability in practice of the tool if it is the case, and to plan the sustainability-related activities. And the third type of output, fourth type of output that we have defined are pilot actions. The pilot actions, as I explained in the morning, are practical implementation of a solution that the project has developed. For example, a service, a tool, a method, even a pilot investment, as I said before. A pilot action has an experimental nature and it is limited in time, and area, duration, and scale, meaning that it does not refer to the entire partnership, but it refers to certain areas targeted by the project that are meant to give an added value based on applying the pilot. Some examples: pilot implementation of innovative management models, pilot implementation of solutions for mobility concepts, pilot application, testing of new technologies, services, etc. And as practical hints, results of the pilot should be transferable. The entire partnership should analyze the outcome of the pilot actions, and they should feed into a strategy or a tool developed by the project if the case. And as I said, the scope is limited in time, duration, and area.